Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, the channel name is Alba Stitcher, and this is a channel all about cross stitch. I'll share what I've been stitching on, if I have any finishes and any haul that I may have purchased in the last while. I'm not sure which video this is. It might be 63, 64, maybe around that. It's been a little while since I made a video. It could be close to maybe 7 or 8 weeks, so I do have a little bit to share, and I thought I would pop on today just to show what I've been stitching on. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning and you've stuck with me through all the highs and lows, then thank you. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a journey, and I think I'm approaching 5 years on Flosstube. I think, and I know I had a big massive gap there. So I suppose technically only 4 years maybe. But anyway, I have some stuff to show and I thought I would come on. Autumn is my favourite season. I've got a lot of kind of witchy stitching, but I've also got a lot of kind of autumn stuff. I'm thinking about Christmas, but not too much. And I did do some sampler September stitching, so it's a little bit spooky and a little bit sampler. I'll do some starts. No, actually I'll do finishes first. I have 2 finishes and I have maybe about 3 or 4 whips. I have a little pile of haul and some plans, really. So I hope you enjoy it. Get yourself a drink, grab your stitching, and I'll share what I've been stitching on. So the first thing is a finish, and this is by JedXstitch. The lighting today is not too bad. That's why I've not put the ring light on. I'm hoping it makes the kind of fabrics and the threads look quite natural. But if it really dulls over, because we're just at the back end of a storm at the moment, then I will put the ring light on. But at the moment, I think it's not too bad. So the first thing I would like to share is my finish. Now this is a JedXstitch. This is the first one I've ever stitched. This was in Just Cross Stitch magazine fairly recently, so probably over the last maybe couple of issues. I really like it, and her designs are a little bit different. They have elements, I think, of the artsy housewife, but her use of colour for me, I really like. So this is stitched on 32 count. It's the vintage Grey Storm by Zweigart, and it's stitched 2/2 with all the called for threads. And she also included Threadworks, and I'm just wondering if I have those threads to share with you. So if you just bear with, yes I do. So the threads were all DMC apart from one Threadworks, and I've worked with Threadworks before. I really like them, and it was this kind of vibrant red. So yeah, there is my finish. I'll put it nice and close. The colours are pretty accurate. I know it's a bit dull, but the colours are quite accurate to what I've stitched. I really enjoyed it. As I say, this is part of a magazine, so if you've got either a subscription to Just Cross Stitch or you've got a Readly app like I have, then you've got access to this little design. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and there she is. That's the Threadworks. I'll take it out the bag. I don't know, most people are probably familiar with the Threadworks thread. It's a cotton stranded. This is a very bright red. It reminds me of DMC 666. I don't think they're named. I think they're only numbered. So it's 1097. And you just pull it off. But it's quite, there's a lot there. There is a lot there. So I noticed, because I bought another couple of JedXstitch's charts, and Threadworks has popped up a few times. But I'll share that with you. So that was my first finish. My second finish, and I don't think I had started any of these when I last put up a little video. But this was me kind of getting into the pumpkin spirit of things, and this is one by Hands On Design, And I have the chart here, I think. Yep, here is the chart here. So there is the chart. And here is my finish. And I just stitched using all the called for threads. The fabric I used is Picture This Plus Doubloon, 32 count. And I like it. Now I can see that things are getting a little bit washed out. Maybe I'll pause and see if it's any better with the camera, with the light on. Bear with me. Okay, I've turned the light on. I don't know if it's any better, and I'm very aware of the reflection in my glasses. But anyway, so this is the doubloon fabric, Picture This Plus, and this is stitched 2/2 on 32 count. And I just kind of fancied some sort of autumn stitching when I had finished stitching on some of the sampler pieces. So I did this one as well. So that's by Hands On Design. And they're my only two finishes I've had in the last couple of, last 7 or 8 weeks. But let me quickly talk about JedXstitch, because that was my first chart that I've ever had from her, and I really enjoyed it. So I went looking, and she had some market releases, or Needlework Expo, is that what it was? Needlework Market. And I got these from Woolly Sheep, and now I'm looking because I thought I'd kept the card, but possibly not. So these were the two designs that I ordered from Heather at Woolly Sheep. It's Cherry Magpie, which I think we've seen quite a few people stitch. And the other one was this one here, which is Blueberry J. And I really like them. I'm not taking out plastic, but they are really nice. Now, what I noticed for both of them is that there is an extensive DMC list, but she's also got the thread works. And on this one, I'll show you what I'm kind of thinking about doing, because I would like to start these. There is a thread works, but there's also a colour and cotton. Now, I tried to get the colour and cotton both here, and I tried 123 Stitch in the US, and yeah, it wasn't possible. So the colour and cotton is a colour zinnia, and what she's saying is there's no exact kind of match to DMC, but look for a warm or hot pink. So for the last couple of years, I have done an advent calendar with Poppy Patch, which is a quilting store here in the UK. And I've done the Cottage Garden threads. And what I did was I had a wee look through my Cottage Garden threads, and I've pulled these two. Now, I'm not sure which one would be best. If you've stitched Cherry Magpie, maybe you could tell me which one would be a better replacement for the colour and cotton zinnia. But I've got Cottage Garden threads zinnia, and I've also got Cosmos. I'm leaning towards this one, since I think she says it's a hot pink saturation. Is that what she says? She says saturation and intensity of this overdyed mid-tone hot pink. So my feeling is this one, but if anybody has stitched this chart or is stitching this chart and thinks, you know, maybe the other one would be better, I would be grateful for some sort of information. I've not pulled the other threads yet. I have ordered some fabric. I don't have that, but I'll share that in my next video, and you can tell me what you think. But these two I really liked. So that was good. Got them from Heather. Got a few other things which I'll share, but I really did like the aesthetic. So I went looking and I bought some more. Not that I need more charts, but I bought some more. Again, there's threadworks listed in this one, and this is this one called Aviary. I do not know if this is a new chart. Yes, 2025. So this is a new chart, and I like it because it's got the kind of Quaker designs in it. And I also bought this one here, which is a smaller chart. There's no threadworks in it. And this is it Green Bungalow? Yeah, Green Bungalow. Let me show you that one. Again, almost a Quaker style. and it's all just DMCs. And I must admit, I really like the charts. There's quite a lot of detail because it gives you both, obviously the symbol, the DMC colour, and the number of stitches. So that's quite helpful. So that's my little collection. I have no plans on buying any more. I want to try and stitch these ones. And yeah, I definitely like the aesthetic of this designer. Okay. So that was a couple of finishes and a little bit of haul. Let me talk about what I've been working on, because I have been stitching. I stitch most days. There's very few days I don't stitch, but I don't always stitch for very long. So I've had a few starts with the kind of feeling of Sampler September. I wanted to kind of start some things. So the first one that I started, and it's not a traditional sampler in any way, is this one here by Crochet Gogo. Now, it's not a very clear design because all you can see is the little pillows, but I did get a picture on my tablet for you. I hope you can see it. If there's not too much glare. So that's how it looks when it's finished. It's by Crochet Gogo and it's Keep Calm and Cross Stitch. It's all stitched in DMC. So I really kind of fell in love with this design. It's not my usual, but I liked it. So I kitted it up and I've been stitching away on it. Now, this is on 32 count vintage country mocha, and I'll show you how far I've gotten on it. None of these whips are ironed. I did iron my finishes. Let me clip this so I can show you. It's a really sweet design. As I say, it's not my normal, but that's how far I've gotten on it. And I'm really liking how it's stitching up. So there you go. All DMC, all 2/2. I did make a substitution. The chart calls for DMC white, and my stitches never look great with DMC white. So I subbed it out for B5200, and I think my white stitches are now looking okay. I've still got some back stitch to do, and I still actually have quite a lot to stitch on this sampler, but I really like it. And as I say, it's not my normal, but I don't know. You ever have that? You just see a chart and you think, yep, I like that, I'm going to stitch that. So I've made quite a good start on it, and I will try and pick it up again and see if I can get some more stitches in it in the next few weeks. So yeah, Keep Calm and Cross Stitch by Crochet Gogo. And oh, sorry, I'll show you it once more if I can find my gallery. Here it is here. And that's what the finished chart will look like. So I still do have quite a bit to go on it. Okay, so that was one whip. Let me just fold this up, put it away. It's not going to need the full fat quarter, but I think I had very little left over that I probably wouldn't have used it for anything, so I just left it. I didn't cut it down, and these are the DMC threads. So yeah, all DMC, not a big massive colour palette. Okay, what else have I been stitching on? Let me see, what's this one here? So I decided to start a new sampler for Sampler September, and I bought this as a kit. I don't often buy kits. I have quite a range of both fabrics and threads, but I just decided to buy this kit, and this is by Little Dove Designs, and it's called Meant to Be, and it's a modern day sampler. And actually, when I took it out, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. I like this. It was the threads. The colour palette of the threads, I think, is lovely. So when I took it out the packet, as I say, I bought the kit. I wouldn't normally buy kits, but I really liked it. I thought it was lovely. I'm a big fan of green. There's plenty of green in here. I used the kit fabric as well. So the only thing I didn't use was the kit needle. I put my own needle in. And this is how far I've gotten on this one. If I could clip it so it doesn't all move around. And this is how far I've gotten on this one. And I must admit, I'm really enjoying stitching on this. I'm getting close to halfway along. But so far, most of the top of the tree is in. That's the border. The border that you see, that's the completed border. So obviously it goes all the way around, and I'm just starting to work on the roof. I have a little bit of back stitch still to put in it, but that's, for me, quite a good start on that sampler. And it's Little Dove Designs. I must admit, the kit's really clear, or the charts are really clear. All the information was fine. The one thing I did do is I contacted her, and I don't know the designer's name. I contacted because two things. First of all, I didn't know what the margin was in the fabric, and she had recommended a centre start. I didn't want to do a centre start. I mean, I could have. I do plenty of centre starts, but I didn't want to do a centre start. I wanted to do a top left start, which is normally where I would start something like a sampler. And she got back to me right away, and she was like, "Yeah, normally I leave kind of 2.5, 3 inches, and yeah, there appears to be loads of room on it, which is good." And this is just a Belfast kind of natural raw linen. And the other thing I did was the little thread keep, would you say? Not a thread keep. But anyway, the chart with all the threads on it, I did put the symbols in. I just wrote them in just to make it easier, because it was just the number, the DMC number. And I suppose if I run out of anything, I've got the DMC number there that I can go and get or take from my stash, so that I've got them all. So yeah. So I really pleased. That was my first, as I say, that's my first kit. I've bought charts before from Little Dove's Designs. I've got Home of a Stitcher, which I had finished, and it's a flat fold. No, was it a stand-up? I think it's maybe finished as a stand-up. But really pleased. Nice clear chart. It's a colour chart. I might show you a little corner so you can see what it's like. If I can maybe just show a little corner of it so you can see the kind of colour chart and how clear it is. So yeah. So I was really happy with that, and I got a start on it. No rush to finish it, but I must admit I do enjoy stitching on it because of the colours. So yeah, that was a definite sampler September start for me. What else? Then I had another small start, and this is actually a tiny start. And this is because I saw Mary from Mary's Stitching Corner. I don't know if people watch her, but I would certainly recommend that you watch Mary. She does a whole array of different kind of projects, and she very much enabled me for this one. So I had the chart, I think, but I didn't have it all kitted up. So I went looking, got my threads. This is a 40 count. So the Little Dove Designs are 32 count linen. This is a 40 count. I think it's just antique white. 40 count antique white. And that's my little start. And the chart, because I'm not showing you the chart, is this one by Jardin Prive. Chart by Jardin Prive called Samplers and Medallions. And I saw Mary start on this. She's done quite a lot on it the last time she showed it, and I really, really liked it. And I thought, again, that's kind of more like the colours I like to stitch with. So I got a little start on it. It's quite a big chart. Let me see, it's 300 by 200. So I have a tiny top left corner start on it for Sampler September. But I hope I get a chance to pull it out again. And I will just check, because I've got my fabric here, so I can tell you whether it's antique white. Oh no, I got that totally wrong. It's not antique white. It's Vigard 40 count Newcastle linen in vintage sand. I'm glad I checked, because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that looks a bit dirty. I don't know what I've done on that, but it's actually vintage sand. If I maybe open it up, it might show a bit more. So yeah, I won't need all of this for that sampler. Oh. But that's my start. Vintage sand. And I have actually a couple other projects that I've worked on. I didn't think I'd stitched that much in the last few weeks, but clearly I have. I also, because we're kind of getting approaching to Halloween, autumn, all that kind of stuff, I had this chart. And I like this chart so much I've bought it twice. So this is another Jardin Prive, and this is Happy Halloween. And I had this in my stash. I couldn't find it. Or, let me rephrase that. I wasn't sure where it was. I thought it was here, but then I thought maybe it was at my mum's. Cut a long story short, I bought it again. I kitted it up. I started it. I was at my mum's for something else, and I went looking, and it was blooming on the top of the pile. So I clearly had thought I wanted to start it. I really like the Quaker pumpkins. I love the colours in it. So let me show you my tiny start on this. And again, this is all using DMC. And I don't know if I've got a little bit of a start on it. I would like to get this one finished. Let me show you. Oh, there's my start. So working away through the white pumpkin, and again I'm using B5200, and they called for DMC for all the other ones, so the greens, the blacks, and obviously the oranges. And I think the fabric is I thought it was just natural, but it's not. It's definitely darker than that. It might just be a mystery linen that I have in my stash. It'll say it's 32 count, I know that much, but yeah. And I'm also a bit worried because there's no needle on this. There's a needle minder, but there is no needle. So yeah, I hope it's in the bag there and it's not falling on the floor. So that was my start on Hello Pumpkin. I'll hopefully have that finished the next time I see you. But I do have a little bit of a pumpkin theme going on. Just a second and I'll show you. I have some pumpkins already out on display in this room. And I have purchased another chart, and I've been kitting that up, which I'll share with you now, which is another pumpkin one. I might leave this out to stitch on it today. Today is Saturday. I don't normally film on a Saturday, but we've just had a really bad storm. Storm Amy, and the road from where I stay just now and where my parents stay is closed. The 82 just off the Erskine Bridge is closed, so I can't go today. I'm hoping I'll go tomorrow. So we've just been out, got some groceries, had some breakfast. John's away to see his brother-in-law, and I thought, you know, this is the time. Work is really busy, so I don't always have time during the week or the energy to film after a long day. So I thought, let me do it today, and at least I'm putting out something to show people what I've been up to. I've been stitching other things. I have other things to share. Sorry, oh, my teeth aren't right today. Let me get a drink. My lovely friend Jennifer and I had messaged her to say I had bought the Mrs. Seda silks. So here they are here. I'll show you it. For Long Dog Samplers Hoity Toity. Jennifer also had the silks, but she wasn't feeling the silks. And she had decided not to use the silks, but to use the overdyes. So she had said to me, when are you starting? I had said, I don't have any plans to start. And she says, do you fancy a November 1st start? And I was like, why not? What's the difference if it's kitted up or if it's a quip? Makes no difference to me. So if you're not familiar with the chart, here is the chart. And this is by Long Dog Samplers Hoity Toity. As I say, I'm using the Mrs. Seda's silk conversion. On the back, clearly got the overdyes and the DMC. So, yep, and here is my... Now, we only started it on the 1st of October, so I don't have a lot, but I have made a start on it. And this is 40 count Zweigart linen in cream. So that is my tiny start on Hoity Toity. And if you know the chart or you've seen it before, there is a lot, there's a lot of stitching. I am in this tiny, so that's what I've done, and this is where I am. This tiny, tiny, tiny corner up here. That's all I've done. Only working on this tiny bit up here. So I have a long, long, long way to go. But, you know, it's not a race. I can take my time. And I'm really enjoying stitching on the silks. Now, I've used Mrs. Seda's silks before. And I noticed she's got a sale on just now. So I don't know if the Hoity Toity pack is still available. But she certainly, I've used her silks and I've really enjoyed them. Jennifer was put off by the brightness of one of the oranges. It could be this one, this first one here. Or maybe, I'm not sure. But she didn't like the brightness of it. Whereas I quite liked it. It was nice. For me, I loved it. The only dilemma I have, and I'll show you. My dilemma is, if I can find it. 645. Nope. I need to find 645. Here it is here, 645. So my dilemma here is on this symbol here. So let me go nice and close. So this symbol here is like a C and it says 645. Okay. Now the Mrs. Seda silk matches the 645, but can I just show you the overdyed? The overdyed is Gentle Arts Tropical Ocean. Now, I don't have Tropical Ocean here, but I googled it. It is a turquoise ocean-like colour. If you know DMC 645, you know what it is. It's a kind of grey with a kind of undertone of maybe a purple. And this is the Mrs. Seda silks. I know Tropical Ocean. I'd be worried if I went to the Maldives and that was my Tropical Ocean. There's something in my Tropical Ocean. So, my dilemma, because I didn't use, I could have quite easily have started that symbol, but I waited. I'm not sure. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know whether to get the Tropical Ocean and just stitch it. I can mix the cottons with the silks, or just use this one, because my thinking... And I'm not a designer, I'm really not. I don't really know, but I'm thinking, obviously she took it from the DMC, so when the Long Dog Samplers were doing the conversion, obviously they were believing it had to match with the other kind of DMC colours. So that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe the Tropical Ocean or the like did not suit this kind of colour palette of the DMC. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm thinking. So at the moment, I'll just stitch away until I decide. And Jennifer and I will meet up in November at the Scottish Stitching Retreat. which I'm looking forward to, and she'll bring hers and I'll have mine, so we can do a kind of comparison, and by that point maybe I'll know what I want to do. If I see the tropical ocean and think, yep, it's going to look fine with my kind of colour palette, then I'll maybe go with it, and if I don't, I'll maybe just go with the DMC conversion 645 in silk form, obviously. So yeah, so there you go. Love a little bit of silk, so I do. I wish I could stitch everything in silk, but I can't. So that's my little star on my long dog. Now, I have already got a couple of long dogs. I've not had great success with them, so feeling good about this one. I'm feeling good, and the reason is I've coveted it for a while. I didn't know what I wanted, so I always took my time, didn't know if I wanted to get the silks. I pulled the trigger and bought the silks, and it was just sitting there, and then Jennifer gave me the opportunity. So thank you, Jennifer, for starting it. And that is all my whips. But I have haul. So if you like a bit of haul, and I have a little bit of plans in there as well, because some of my haul is stuff that I'm going to start on. But let me share some haul with you. Again, some of this is the Needlework Market Expo, the one that we've just had. So a lot, or two of these charts I definitely got from Heather at Woolly Woolly Sheep Sheep, and some of the charts I got from Sue at Peakside, and some I've just collected along the way. So I got both of these from Heather, and I really liked these. I wasn't sure, first of all. I mean, I have quite a few Halloween charts, but yeah, I kind of really liked them. So park your broom and stay for a spell. And then this one is witch parking, all others will be towed, as in frog towed away. Now, I've started to kit these up. I use DMC, and I've not gotten very far. I've only got a few DMCs pulled from my stash, so I've only just really got a few. I've not got anything. And I have a cone of DMC which I will use. DMC, sorry, black. But I pulled this from my stash. Now this is Rusty Golden Brown. It's a fat quarter, and it's from XU Design. I love XU Design fabric. I have used this before, so this is my second fat quarter. If you've been with me for any length of time, I did a Satsuma Street Who's There, and it's the owls, and I used this fabric for that. So I'm thinking it's a little bit darker than it's shown on the screen, but I'm thinking I'm going to use this one for both those charts. I'd like to say I'm going to start them this autumn, but I don't think I will. There's a few others that I think are calling me first. There's also little charts on the back. I'll not show you them. Well, maybe I can actually, if I just go. No, maybe I can't. So there are additional charts in these two booklets. They're called for fabric. I think one's Sedona by Fibre on a Whim. And I love a Fibre on a Whim chart, but not always easy to get. Okay, so this one is Aztec Linen by Under the Sea Fabrics. And this one is, oh no, they're both Aztec Linen. I wonder what I've been looking at that's Sedona. Oh, I know. Hang Fire. This one here. This is Sedona. So it's Under the Sea Fabrics, but I think I'm going to be using this one here. Okay. Oh, and there's the card. I wanted to really show Heather's card so that you know you can buy from her. And she has these great little sayings. They're not all the same. I thought they were all the same. But this is quite good because it says it's all fun and games until the dialogues don't match. And it's so true. So that's from Woolly Woolly Sheep Sheep. For me, she's really good to work with. Really good. Okay, what else do I have? I have some other charts, and I've got some stuff. I want to share this one with you because this is another one that I've got mid kitted up, because this is probably the one I want to start after I finish Jardin Prive Happy Halloween. And this is Patchwork Pumpkins by Yasmin's Made with Love. And I absolutely love this design. And I haven't started it, and the only reason I haven't started it is I don't have all the threads. And she's got a list. It's charted in Roxy Flosscoat. I don't have any Roxy Flosscoat, but there's a DMC conversion, which is great. And there's also a kind of DMC, I think it's one of their variegation ones. But I don't have that. I've got it ordered, so it's all coming. But this is the one, and I'm thinking I'm going to use this, which is a Fibre and a Whim Caffeole. This is the one I think I'm going to do it on. I will do a little check before I do it with my threads to make sure it matches okay, but I think it is a little bit darker than what it shows in the picture here, but I still think it's going to be okay. So that's going to be my next start once I finish Happy Halloween. It's 83 by 133 and I'm looking forward to it. I love a pumpkin, as my decoration shows, and that's not the only one I have. I have a few laid out. Okay, so this one as well, really looking forward to starting. Then I got a little With Thy Needle and Thread. I thought I'd bought another one, the Quaker Snippets, but I think it might be in my other bag. But I bought this Autumn Trio. It's just maybe better if I show it like that. From With Thy Needle and Thread. I also bought R.I.P. Halloween by Jardin Prive. And I picked up this little book as well, and this is by the Primitive Hare. Now, this was the first time I've seen this booklet. It's not a book, but it's a booklet. I don't think I'll be able to show much in it because the charts and the pictures are all kind of together and mixed up. But it's called Haunted Stitches by the Primitive Hare. If I can show you, maybe, don't know if this will work. Not very good at this kind of stuff, but those are the kind of charts. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. Those are the kind of charts that are in here. And I think there's 8 in total. Let me just tell you. I'll tell you how many there is. There's little cat ones. Yeah, I think there's 8. Oh no, there's more than 8. This one's really good actually. I quite like this one. Let me show you this one. Spooky threads. I would certainly recommend this. If you like the Primitive Hare designs, and if you like kind of spooky, then for me this would be a must-have. A little ghosty one. So yeah, I'll see if I can show you any others without kind of breaking my hand and showing you any of the chart. So it's like Good Witch Lives Here. Okay. Let's see if I get any more. Showed you the light, the candle. Yeah, that should be a bit. So I picked up that booklet. Okay. What else? Been thinking about Christmas a little bit, just a little bit, and I picked up this new one by Hello from Liz Matthews, which is Fa La La La. Really liked that one. So that I'll add that into my maybe my Christmas stitching, whenever that will be. And the last one that I have picked up, and I've actually started to kit up as well with the threads, is this one here. Now this is by an Italian designer. Artmishka, I think it is. Oh, pause a second. It was the postman at the door. So, back to this one. So this is Artmishka, an Italian designer. Her name is Anna Jutova. I saw this on Arts and Design's website and I really liked it, so I just ordered it, and I'm quite impressed. I had quite a lot of the threads in my stash, so I've pulled the threads. It uses 12 DMCs, and I'm probably going to stitch it on maybe some sort of natural Belfast linen. Okay. One final charts, is both two charts here. One final one to show you. This is actually, do you know, I would rather take this out. So this I bought thinking it was platinum, even weave. But to be frank, any of the platinum I've had in the past is much paler than this. This seems more like a mushroom. It definitely says platinum. I just want to show. But for me, it's a little bit mushroom. I'm not sure if it's going to work for these two designs, but let me show you the designs. And these are two ink circle ones. Now, to be fair, I bought one of them on the secondary market and I really liked it, and I went looking for the kind of companion piece. So it's this chart here called Garden of Zig, and it's kitted up with cottage garden threads. Now, I spoke earlier about cottage garden threads and how I had a couple of advent boxes. So I did have some of these threads, and I think I was only missing maybe one or so. So these are the threads for this chart here. I shall show you again. So this chart, these are the threads, and I wanted to do it on platinum, but I'm not sure because I feel the platinum is very mushroom. It's not platinum. So that's the first one. And I saw somebody had stitched it on Instagram, I think it was. I really liked it. She does have a DMC conversion, so she has the cottage garden threads and then there's a DMC conversion. And to be fair, these charts are, I think, easy to swap out and use your own kind of threads if that's what you wanted. But then I bought the, is it Garden of Zig? No, Forest of Zag. So that's Garden of Zig. This is Forest of Zag, which actually I think I might start with. And to be honest, I think the platinum, or my mushroom platinum, may well be okay with this one. I just think this one's more kind of blue toned. It would probably benefit from having a more of a white base, so maybe an antique white. And here are the lovely cottage garden threads for this one. And these two charts I would like to get started probably not long after Christmas stitching is done. So let me show you these threads. And again, I had the advent boxes, so I had it for 2 years. So yeah, I had some of these already in my stash. I didn't have to buy them. They are a little bit pricier, but I definitely think they're worth it. So that's Forest of Zag, which I might start with. That's the threads. And this is my fake platinum that I think this one will look okay on. Now, the door went, as you heard, and it was actually the postman with my fabric for my JedXstitch. So why don't we just seize the day, and I'll just pause you, I'll pull that chart out and I can show you the fabrics that I'm thinking for these two charts. I don't have the threads yet, so there might be another little floss toss, but let me show you the lovely fabrics, because if I don't use them for these charts, I'll use them for something else. Again, bear with me for the pause. Okay, so let me start with the Cherry Magpie. I've taken it out of the plastic envelope, and I will show you. So I got both of these fabrics from Stoneybank Creations, and this one is called Berry Mist. This is 32 count even weave. This is a Scottish fabric dyer. She is on Etsy. She is also on Instagram, so you could certainly contact her that way if there was something that you were interested in. But I wondered, or I hoped, that this fabric would be good for this chart. I know it's not exact as the chart, it's a bit paler, but I was okay with that. And if you remember earlier, I was showing you these two cottage garden threads because I couldn't get the colour in cotton zinnia. So I'm now wondering if maybe Cosmos will be better than zinnia. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm really happy. I've had quite a few pieces of fabric from Stoneybank. I've stitched on, they're great. But I'm really liking that combo. I think maybe I did not too bad. It's really difficult buying fabric online because you're never really quite sure what you're going to get and if it's going to be lighter or darker or bright. You just don't know. This one here looks different, but I'm not really. Yeah, let's see. So this one here is the Blueberry J. The called for fabric for this one is malachite, I'm sure. Yep, Fibre on a Whim malachite. I had tried to get a piece of that. It wasn't that I hadn't tried, but I think it was all kind of sold out. So this is the one here I got. I'll tell you what she's called it, if it's got a name. Yeah, it's called Emerald Green. And this is it here. Again, Stoneybank Creations. A Scottish fabric dyer. She's up in the north. And actually, I think it might be okay. I don't have the threads. That's the only thing. My next thing will be to get the threads to see. Again, it's a bit lighter than the called for, but I'm okay with that, I think. It's not too bad. So yeah, let me know what you think. As I say, it's really difficult. I'm very envious of people who can go to the shops and get to see Fibre on a Whim firsthand or Picture This Plus. When you buy from online, you're never sure what you're going to get. But I'm actually okay. I think these might be okay, these fabrics. So yeah. Do I have plans? I always have plans. Plans will be to try and stitch every day. I'm hoping to finish my Happy Halloween by Jardin Prive. I'm hoping to get a start on my Patchwork pumpkins. I like an odd spooky design, so I've got my eye on a few other things. And I'll be planning some Christmas stitching as well. I don't really have much of a life update. Things have been a little bit tough. We've had another death in the family. Another death in the family, in John's family, which was very sudden. So it was a bit of it was not a very good time. My parents are still okay. My dad, well, you know, the dementia and the Alzheimer's, there's really no change there. But yep, we've got some plans for them over the next little while, and we just need to take one day at a time. But I try and stitch every day. I hope everyone's doing okay. A lot of bad stuff going on in the world just now, so I do hope you get a little bit of comfort from your stitching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to be back maybe in the next 6 weeks or so. Here's hoping. And yeah, take care. Bye.